I'm the new agent, Natalie. I need your signature in a few places to effect a transfer that's sanctioned by the higher-ups. Natalie didn't go into detail, as there was not much to say. Ellington was stunned for a moment, his arrogance draining away. Natalie sat down at the desk. Ellington started to become agitated, rattled at being outgunned by this newcomer, but he signed the documents without even reading them. Natalie was satisfied. Thank you. But she was in no hurry to leave the office. Instead, she stood up, went across to the sofa, and calmly flipped through the document Ellington had just signed. Ellington's resentment boiled over, and he said angrily, "Do you have any other business with me?" Natalie laughed, as she didn't care and was in a buoyant mood. "Okay, I'll leave now." When Natalie stood up and was about to leave, Tony stood still, as pale as ever. She stopped halfway to the door. She looked at Tony and asked, "What are you standing there for? Come on, you're with me now." Tony didn't react for a moment. Ellington, confused, said through gritted teeth, "What do you mean by that?" "Didn't I just introduce myself as the new agent hired by the higher-ups? Tony Bovell is my artist now." "But that's impossible. Everyone here knows Tony Bovell is my man. Who the hell do you think you are?" Nothing is impossible, Ellington. And anyway, didn't you just sign the document? She jabbed the document into Ellington's hand. He took the papers and looked at them carefully. "Natalie, you tricked me?" "I explicitly said I needed your signature for a transfer, didn't I? You signed it yourself, and yet you blame me for your carelessness and not reading the contents? Look, Natalie, you know I've been guiding Tony for a long time. It wouldn't look good if you rushed to take him off of my roster so suddenly. People wouldn't like it." "Look, Mr. Ellington, this really is not my doing. This transfer request came straight from the top of the organization. If you want to question this, then go and talk to them." Natalie beckoned to Tony to leave with her, but Ellington stopped them. "We have to sort this matter out properly first. Just wait." He went to the desk and picked up the phone. Natalie couldn't wait to hear how dumbfounded Ellington was going to be. She heard Ellington ask to be put through to Gary Willis, the department head. "Gary, hi. Look, Tony Bovell signed a contract for 2 years, and there are still 6 months for the contract to expire. If we change the contract now and transfer him to this Natalie, that might be illegal." Faintly, Natalie heard Willis's reply through the speakerphone. "There's nothing here that's against the rules. This contract belongs to a minor artist anyway. Find yourself some new bigger artists and we can sign them up." Gary, I've been with Tony Bovell for many years now, and I've grown attached to him. I can't bear to give him up to this new woman. So how about, there's no point in saying any more. The CEO wants this transfer to happen. Any further discussion is useless. Just deal with it." Mark Ellington's face darkened as he looked down disbelievingly at the phone. Natalie had an inkling that this would be the outcome of his call. "Since you've definitely cleared this up now, is there anything else? If not, we'll be on our way." As she and Tony headed for the door, Ellington called out, "Natalie, please, just wait another second." She turned, suspicious, not knowing what else Ellington might have up his sleeve. "How about I give you one of my other artists instead?" Seeing that Natalie was unmoved, he said brokenly, Okay, I can give you Harry Ellington if you want." She raised her eyebrows and looked at Ellington in surprise. "Are you serious about that?" Harry was Mark's nephew, and Mark had made plenty of effort to promote him. Tony Bovell's heart sank when he heard this offer. Ellington saw Tony's expression, and as the seconds passed, the look of defeat on Tony's face buoyed Ellington up. But then Natalie said with a smile, "I'm not going to trade Tony with you. And you can keep those other guys for yourself. I only want Tony Bovell. If you offend me today, think about what that will mean for your future here. I have influence, don't forget that." "Let's see how effective you are at making things difficult for me. Do your worst." With that, Natalie swept Tony out of Ellington's office. He looked at Tony Bovell's retreating back and called out bitterly, "Tony, before you go, I really urge you to think seriously about whether you want this unknown as your agent. Anyone is better than you." Then Tony shut the door firmly behind himself and Natalie. Natalie took Tony back to her newly allocated office. The more Natalie looked at him, the more satisfied she became. "So Tony, I'll be your manager from now on. We need to have an honest relationship, so I need you to answer a few questions." Tony was a bit wary of his new agent, but seeing Natalie's gentle smile, he let his guard down. "Yes, okay, go ahead." "Your age?"
22.
Are you in love with someone?
Not at the moment.
How many girlfriends have you revealed in public?
I haven't talked about anyone in public like that.
Have you ever filmed a bedroom scene? Tony got a bit flustered at this and his face turned red.
No, I've never filmed that kind of scene.
Natalie, surprised by his embarrassment, laughed. Feeling that she was teasing him, Tony went even redder. What about your family? What does your family do? Tony's expression clouded.
My parents are divorced, and I live with my sister.
She nodded in understanding. This should mean that even if he became very popular, he wouldn't have too many skeletons in his closet.
Hi, I am Natalie. Want to know my story? Then download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of The Return Now.